Hey, I'm Kyle. One of the most common questions that I get from men who first contact me and are possibly interested in sharing a platonic therapeutic cuddling session with me is, dude, like Kyle, what if I get an erection? Not intentionally, but what if it just happens? Like, I feel nervous about that. How would we handle that? So, yeah, I'm going to answer that. First, if you're worried about that, one, know that you're not alone. That's one of the most common questions I get, maybe the most common question I get from men. And the short answer is it's fine. Like, we have our agreements, we're going to be platonic, or we agree that we're never going to intentionally try to create or increase arousal. And sometimes we sneeze, we don't mean to. Sometimes we feel arousal when we don't mean to, and it's okay. I have wonderful male men clients who I share 3-hour, 4-hour sessions with, and they have an erection the whole time. That's just how their body reacts. They're not trying to. They're, really in line with the intention of my sessions, and it's fine. We both have really beautiful, platonic, relaxing, comfortable experiences. So that's the short answer. The longer answer is, yeah, it's understandable and it's unfortunate that you might feel nervous about that or shame or fear because many of us as men, we live in a culture where we there's like embarrassment and shame and fear around our bodies just doing what they naturally do, what a healthy male body does. And it doesn't even mean that we have to feel arousal or attraction when we get an erection. Sometimes it just happens, so like a lot of men, we just wake up in the morning, that's just part of our biological process with an erection. It's fine. Um, yeah, so I really want to say that, yeah, it's okay, and I get where many of us would feel nervous or some feelings about that. And the awesome thing though is that in sessions with me, it's not the outside world. So it's a really, really safe place where you and I are welcome and cherished exactly as we are, our whole person, our whole being. And that includes our body, however our bodies show up. So it can be a really beautiful healing experience in that way. If you do get an erection during our session together, it's totally up to you if you want to talk about it or not. Different clients prefer different things. You never have to talk about it, or we never have to acknowledge it. And if it helps you feel more comfortable to talk about it, and yeah, we can do that. That's totally something I'm happy to talk about and hold space for. And I think pretty much most men who've had an erection during sessions with me just choose and find it most relaxing to just not pay it much attention, just to let it come or go or stay, whatever it just happens to do. And if you uncomfortable with you having an erection or you feel you'd like it to change, then we can always do some breathing exercises to relax. I can lead a guided meditation, or we can have silent meditation. We can change cuddling positions or have some space from touch if that helps you let the arousal ground down out of your body. And it's not necessary though. Most men find that once they really are in the experience and they get that, yeah, like I'm totally comfortable with you, I'm totally comfortable with myself, and just our beautiful bodies and however they are, and it's a really, really safe, nurturing place, then their nervousness or concern about how their bodies react or not just melts away and it doesn't become a concern anymore. I'll share a story about, let's say I'm going to call this person M, and this is a combination of different people's experience to help keep everyone's privacy and confidentiality. So this is not one exact person, but this is a collection of stories. So when M contacted me in the beginning, they were very, let's say he was very interested in sharing a session with me, and at the same time, he felt quite nervous because he just knew from his life experience that his body reacted to touch with an erection often. It didn't matter if it was someone of the gender or the visually that he was attracted to or not. His body just tended to get an erection often when he shared prolonged touch. And he didn't know how I would feel about that. He felt like the feelings that we were talking about earlier. So I talked to him about what I'm saying in this video. He felt comfortable to share a session, and what happened was, he found that it was okay, that our bodies just are how they are, and that he was welcomed, just appreciated, cherished exactly how he was, and we had wonderful platonic, wonderful self-growth, in our sessions together. One thing he did find that helped him feel comfortable was at times to have like a pillow or blanket over his waist area. Just kind of helped him feel more comfortable, especially in the beginning. Not required, but it's always an option if that would help you feel more comfortable. And one of the really awesome things was through our time together, he felt more and more relaxed, more and more comfortable with sharing touch while he had an erection. He learned that it was okay. He kind of was able to let go of some of the unfortunate societal conditioning and learn it's okay, as well as, we can share platonic, relaxed touch while someone has an erection. It doesn't mean that it's not platonic. It doesn't mean that someone has erotic intentions or anything. So then as he became comfortable with that, then he wanted to add more platonic touch, and I introduced him to some other wonderful guys who wanted that same thing, and I introduced them all in a group event. And he had an awesome experience at that group event, cuddling with probably 15 other wonderful men. So he added that group possibility, that group experience, as a wonderful place to get more platonic, nurturing connection and touch and cuddling, to be supported. And that's something that happens regularly, that I facilitate, and I know about other groups as well. I'm happy to connect people with. And then during those group events, he met some other guys who, they just clicked. They kind of had some friendship vibe going on, and they, like in a personal way, became friends outside of the group, and then got to share platonic touch and cuddling in an ongoing, personal friendship way. Which was just like so awesome and amazing for both of them. It started out as something that, even in a really safe professional container, therapeutic container, was like, I don't know about this, to now being able to go to very affordable, low-cost group events and have personal friendships that have really like nurturing, close, platonic touch and cuddling in them. So it was an amazing story, and if any of that have any more questions about any of these topics that I didn't answer here, or you wanted me to go more in depth on, I would love for you to ask me any questions. There's no silly question. I'll never be offended or embarrassed. As long as it's in line with my intentions, the kind of work that I do. And yeah, I hope to maybe meet you at some point. And if you like, I send you a big hug through the world, and I'll talk to you later.